Put a plan together with a direction, and regardless of how you feel, just go do it. There's a split-second decision every day at 2:50 a.m. I have to make. Split second, and there's so many more days that I don't want to than I do, but I make a decision. I either wake up and do what I'm supposed to do, or I sleep in and I fail.
I'd rather be sidelined trying to achieve greatness than watch greatness achieved and it only set on the sideline. Now introducing your host, Jacob Emery.
This episode of the Iron and Infrastructure Podcast is brought to you by Unlocking Greatness with Jacob Emery, a coaching community built for those ready to become the strongest version of themselves. Weekly calls, proven playbooks, and a community built to grow. Greatness is not given, it's unlocked. Join us today at jacobemery.com or DM coach at jacobemery44 on all social media platforms. I often talk about staying disciplined whenever motivation goes away, when that initial spark is all gone and you just got to get up and do the thing. One of the hardest times, though, that this is taking place for me is after an injury. So a couple of years ago, I was going to compete in a powerlifting meet. Everyone at the 4 a.m. crew, OSG guys, going to go do powerlifting meet. Some were going to do bodybuilding show. And it was going to be my first one ever. Like 3 weeks before the meet, tear my pec. I'd been rehabbing my knee for like 18 months. And it was a pretty good setback. The pec was not completely torn, so I got fortunate, but I couldn't compete. So I didn't know why, obviously. I was pushing too hard, under-recovered, overtraining for my recovery, and I didn't have the intelligence on one day to not try it again. I think we were doing a 2-board max, 405 with 125 in band tension, and as I missed it the first time, I knew right away it was just form. I just didn't have it in the right spot. I'm going to do it again. I underestimated how much time I had spent pushing through it, though. Time under tension was a lot. The weight was heavy. CNS was already fried. So I made a mistake. I went to try it again, and I had a pec tear after that. But what led from there was experience, the ability to learn, delayed gratification again. So, yeah, discipline. What's it look like after you're injured? How do you stay disciplined? I showed up. I kept going. I was there for the other guys at the crew, to the point that Corey actually had to say, Jake, get the fuck off the bar. Like, you're not allowed to lift off for anybody right now. He did me a favor because I was hurt. He knew that it killed me, and it did. But what can I do? And in that time period, what I figured out is my volume was too low for the max that I could push. High max compared to the volume that I was actually doing. Something's got to give. Oh, wait, my pec just did. So as I have about 12 to 15 weeks of direct rehab, after an 18-month rehab stint on my knee, I found so many imbalances, and they're all interconnected. They're all connected in one form or fashion. So what I did, took a step back, day by day, showed up, I did my thing, prioritized recovery, I prioritized stretching. I just had a different thing that I was focused on that day, but I didn't lose my discipline. My motivation was gone. The most monotonous and boring stuff you're ever going to do is rehab, but it was for a bigger reason. I didn't sit there and dwell on that injury. I thought about what can I do to get better when I come back. So going into the end of the year, random, figure out there's an invite to a local meet. There's a local gym having a powerlifting meet. I've never done one still. I'm still banged up, but my pec's okay to bench. Now, I hadn't benched heavy yet, but I decided to try it out. I was going to open at 350, and I thought, man, I just want to try that. If I can do 350, I'll go to the meet, just whatever. Smoked 350 at the gym, smoked it in the meet. But what happened during that whole entire process was a big growth phase. I learned a lot about me as a person. I learned about delayed gratification again. I learned about the imbalances I had. Something was eventually going to break and give. I probably got fortunate. What did was that pec, and that injury wasn't that bad. 2 years later, I still have it, nags still, but it's not that bad. Had it went longer or worse, could have been way worse. I could have tore the whole entire pec off. So instead, delayed gratification from April not getting to compete. Well, I still went to the meet. I showed up. I got to wrap knees, got to be the cheerleader. Brian Callahan, 700-pound world record squat, wrapped his knees. There was a lot of guys that did really good that day that I got to wrap their knees. And I was proud of that because I got to be a part of it, even if I wasn't on the platform. My role that day was probably bigger helping them guys than it was for me to lift on my own. That's what it's all about when there's a team involved. So not only that, but September rolls around. I got my meet coming up. Local meet. It's where my brother used to train. Sentimental value there. His name's on the chalkboard. I walk in and I just feel like it was all for a bigger purpose. I couldn't see it yet. So 242 class. It doesn't get any more epic than this. This episode of the Iron and Infrastructure Podcast is brought to you by R&R Pipeline Inc., an infrastructure company. Join our team today at rrpipelineinc.com. It's on Corey's birthday. Corey Gregory shows up to wrap my knees on his damn birthday. I opened at 410, bum knee, squatted 4 times in 10 weeks the thing before. So I walked in. I changed my squat stance with lifters, narrow foot, like just ignorant. 3 weeks out. And I squatted, I think, twice. I did the opener and that was it. So I go into that day, because of my knee being so bad, I was worried about blowing it out if my legs were too wide. So I go into that day, go in, I'm going to squat 500, call it a day. I'll take it as a bare minimum. It's a road to recovery, whatever. 410, smoked. 60, should have been smoked. Missed it for depth twice. Oh, shit. I open up at 410. That's all I get. So I didn't bomb out at least, but 410-pound squat for 242-pound class, that's not very good. But I didn't let it defeat me, and I realized a couple things throughout that. My first powerlifting meet, first of all, I was really pissed, more for Corey than anything, but I realized this has got to be a good day. For some reason, I've bombed on that. Was god awful. I'm not a good squatter anyways, but that day, something was going to happen. I don't know what. I wasn't worried about winning the class. I wasn't worried about any of it. But I go to bench. My squat was less than a failure, so I go to the bench, lay down, 350, smoked. Like empty bar. Could have thrown it up above my head. I was like, that feels pretty good. Not bad. 380, smoked. Tony Ramos, Westside Barbell legend, good homie of mine, really good friend, shows up and he's handing off to me. He's like, dude, you got to go for a PR. I was like, Tony, I've never competed in a powerlifting meet before. He's like, 410, calls it. That's what I do, 410. From 380 to 410. I didn't smoke 410, but I hadn't touched anything remotely close to that in quite a while. So the underlying story is I squat 410, missed my next 2. I smoked my first 2 and then bench 410. So find me another person that's squatted and benched the same exact amount in a powerlifting meet, 42-pound class. Squat, bench the same, 410 pounds. It is the most backhanded probably compliment I could get. One hell of a bench, one hell of a squat. Yeah. Nonetheless, go pull 550-ish and end up having a great time. The sentimental value was 10x what the tangible value was. I wasn't there to get a trophy. I wasn't there to do anything of that nature. Any other powerlifting meet, I wanted to place in the top 100, but it was about the experience. It was about the delayed gratification, the sentimental value. My first powerlifting meet at a place where my brother trained. The homie Nate Saxon sponsored the show or the meet, and the trophy I got had his name on it for his company. So it all kind of came full circle. And you never know when at the beginning of it, something's going to be meant to be until you have all the dots connect. And so I learned that you just got to believe that it can be good. You got to believe in what the outcome is going to be, because we're not in control of it. We're not in full control. Rarely are we in full control. I couldn't have scripted a 410 squat and a 410 bench back to back in the same meet after knee rehab and pec rehab. But the experience, the willingness to do the boring thing, I had zero motivation to go do that. And that's about like life. I don't have motivation. I have discipline. It's not what I feel like doing. It's what I need to do. So I say all that to say this. You don't have to be 100% to give 100%. Your 100% on a day to day might be 50%. You might only have 50% of your tank full to give, but give 100% of what you got. Just give what you got. Don't look for motivation because you might sit around and look for a long time. Take the discipline, the habits that you build, let them be the guide for you to get the life that you want. It really is discipline over motivation. Because if it would have been motivation, I probably still wouldn't bench 400 pounds to this day, 3 years after the injury. So lead with what you want to do in life, not what you feel like doing. Put a plan together with a direction. And regardless of how you feel, just go do it. There's a split-second decision every day at 2:50 a.m. I have to make. Split second. And there's so many more days that I don't want to than I do. But I make a decision. I either wake up and do what I'm supposed to do, or I sleep in and I fail. Because failure is just not trying. I don't sleep in. I don't hit the snooze button. First standard of greatness, my daily non-negotiable, is no snooze. We don't hit the snooze button regardless of how we feel. We follow the plan. That is what discipline's all about. Forget about your feelings and follow the plan. Motivation has no place when it comes to discipline. It can be a spark, but it won't last. Temporary, discipline forever, and you'll get the life that you want. Squat 410, bench 410. I don't recommend trying it, but if you do, tell me about it. Stop telling yourself one day. It isn't about one day, it's about day one. Today should be your day one. What you need isn't another day. What you need is clarity with the community to give you confidence to unlock your greatness. That's what the group coaching program is all about. Confidence, clarity, via commitment. Hit the show link in the notes. Let's start unlocking your greatness now, today.